Hi, welcome to Life Skills with Louie. I'm Louie, and today we are talking about reward management, or in technical terms, it's called contingency management. And this is a skill to be used within behavioral analysis when you're trying to change a behavior. If you haven't watched the introduction to behavior analysis or the video about behavior analysis, please do that to understand this better. And if you haven't watched the introduction to connecting to clear, the section you're in, that could be helpful to do. Finally, if you haven't watched the introduction to the entire video series, I encourage you to do that so that you understand how all these 5 sections work together and when to go to each to help take care of yourself and meet your needs. So to talk about the skill of reward management. So we use this map to talk about this whole section, and you're learning to map your experience to be aware of when you do an ineffective action that's not heading in the direction you want and not having the effect you want in life, not working towards your goals. You're noticing your thoughts, your events, the actions happen around it, the sensations, the emotions. You're noticing your resilience factors, and then you may find that right after the action, there's a certain consequence that happens, generally a reward that is very helpful. So you find that you do a certain behavior and you feel a sense of pleasure, or you feel a sense of relief. Those are the two generally big ones that either kind of boosts you up or it calms you down, and we really need these experiences. That can be, in and of itself, the key controlling variable that keeps a certain behavior going. It's not even about all the thoughts and events and actions. It's really about the consequences. And to work with this, we talk about 2 different skills that are the same and related. One is satiation, which I'll explain in a second. And the second one is management of rewards. So to talk more broadly first. So management of rewards, as humans, we are driven, not completely, but to a certain extent, by the rewards we receive. And we all need the experience of relaxing. We need the experience of fun. And sometimes a certain behavior will give that to us, at least in part. Usually, if it's an ineffective behavior, it also has elements of stress associated with it, or it harms the body in some way. But there's always an element of fun or relief that comes with it. And so if you set up your life to have other rewards that can compete with that reward, it can be extremely helpful. To give an example of this, if I was going to watch a show and I had an urge to watch a show and I knew that that would be very fun for me, I could engage in a different fun activity that I felt my reward system come online. And I would still be giving myself some reward, but it's a different reward that has less problems associated with it. So actually substituting rewards, even like, for our young parts of our psyche, like even things like money, like every time you do a certain behavior instead of another. So if every time I go and exercise instead of watching a show, if I put $1 in a jar and then I buy myself something really great with that, that can feel really rewarding. The reward needs to be relatively close to the action for it to actually work. That's a key point. It can't be too far out. The long term, the body doesn't keep hold of. So you don't want to wait a bunch of weeks, maybe save up some money for a week and then give yourself a prize. The second part, satiation, has to do with the fact that you may find that you get that relief, you get that sense of pleasure. And a part of it is because you're really in a bit of a deficit, especially with these resilience skills. And there's needs that aren't being met that this behavior is meeting, though not in a way that that really works for you. So satiation is about meeting the real needs underneath. So as you go through this, you realize, gosh, every time I do this action, I get this sense of pleasure. And yeah, my life is not very fun right now. Okay, I think I really need to work on the A of accumulated positive experience and have more fun in my life. And that will help me to feel better overall. And what you find with satiation when it works is that as you meet your needs more, you just have less even of an urge to do a certain behavior. And you find that you just naturally do it less, or you start doing it and you're able to stop it more easily. So look for unmet needs and this term satiation. And of course, you can read more on this online on Google as well. Thank you very much, and I hope you find this helpful.